What do you do when your sex life or your intimate life has gone off the rails and you don't even know where to start? Or for some of you, you've never had one and you really want to experience true closeness and intimacy. Well, my name's Tari from Closeness, closeness.com and the Closeness podcast. And today I'm going to walk you through the logistics of being in a sex and intimacy coaching session with me. I'm very proud to say that unlike traditional therapists and counselors who may kick you out at the 55-minute mark or even the 50 or 45-minute mark, I leave at least a 2-hour window open for us to work together. I cannot begin to tell you how much people appreciate that. This allows some very interesting things to happen. Number one, you generally won't go home in an emotional moment, or if you're in the middle of resolving something, you won't feel like you're getting cut off. But number two, it allows us to really dive deep and get results even quicker. You don't need months and years with me. Most people only need a handful of sessions to get the tweak or the result that they're looking for. I'm not saying that you just do one thing and everything is fixed, or that you take some pill and everything gets better, but we can generally move at a very quick pace, assuming you or both of you are on the same page and can handle a ramp up like that. Please let me know if you're financially constrained and I need to keep the session to an hour or an hour and a half. Otherwise, we can go and go generally until we get to the point that it feels time to bring the session to a close. This one distinction alone works miracles for couples and singles, and I think you'll enjoy it too. The next thing you should know that might be a little bit different here is that I take a deposit to work together. It's refundable within 48 hours of your session. In most cases, that deposit will cover a portion of the hour, and then you can just settle up with me for the rest after the session. If you want to talk more about it ahead of time, if you want to ask to check in each additional 20 minutes, you're welcome to, whatever's easy. And I accept all payment methods from cash, Venmo, Apple Pay Cash, credit card, Cash App, and beyond. Everything except a personal check, which hopefully by now has gone out of style. Once you've come in for your first time, you no longer have to worry about paying in advance, but we do need to be mindful about future cancellations or adjustments. Any adjustment or cancellation is free of charge as long as you let me know 36, ideally 48 hours before the session. Same day cancellations and 1 day prior cancellations will carry a 1-hour fee, so please just be sure to communicate with me or keep your appointment. Another common question that comes up is, how often should I or should we come in for a session? It is generally up to you, but I will say this. Weekly is very useful if you want to build momentum and keep things on track, and you're in a situation where you can work on things regularly and your week doesn't just blow by with kids and family and relatives and job. Twice a month is another great option, but in the beginning, I don't recommend stretching it out more than that because most people can't remember what they did yesterday and the day before, much less 3 weeks ago. So having consecutive sessions every week or every 2 weeks, just in the beginning until we get the desired results that we're looking for, is usually best. I will add though that once we get you all sorted out, it is nice to book the occasional monthly session to keep things, I don't want to say well lubricated, to keep things in line, to keep things running smoothly. It makes a great touchstone or check-in point just to keep you on track until you build momentum for long-term growth and happiness. All right, the next and maybe most important thing you should know is I know that this work is pricey. It's costly for most people, but there's a reason for it. Unlike traditional therapists and marriage family therapists where you might invest weeks, months, and years of your life, so much of the results that you'll get with me are front-loaded. They usually happen fast and they happen within the first session or two, sometimes even within the first hour. So if I'm able to give you answers that no one else has been able to give you before, or I'm able to make a shift in your relationship that changes everything, what is that worth? If it was going to take us years to figure out your situation, of course, maybe it would be easy to go lower, but because everything is so condensed and so immediate, there has to be a way to account for that. So even if it seems a little daunting to you, please know that I have your best interest in mind and I'm always trying to work as quickly as possible and as quickly as you're comfortable with to get the results that you're looking for. Also, at least as of this recording, I tend to be open 7 days a week. It just works out where I wind up having a day off or two here and there, but it allows you and your partner to see me on weekends, sometimes in the evening or very early morning as well, not just during a business day. I know many of you have very busy lives, families, and schedules, and it absolutely forces you to need some time outside typical business hours. All right, what about age requirements? Well, the minimum age is 18, and I've had everyone through my door age 18 to 80, so it is never too late, and it really never is too early. I've worked with so many young couples who have been so thankful that they discovered me early on because it sets them up for a lifetime of great intimate habits. And while we all tend to turn into a little bit more of a Scrooge type character as we get older into our 40s, 50s, 60s, and 70s, it's never too late to come in to get help. I can always make shifts. I can always give you feedback, coaching, ideas, mediate a difficult conversation for you, and help you think of some things that maybe seem obvious in hindsight, but are completely fresh and new to you in the moment. Next, I do want to set a tone. And as we all know, Rome wasn't built in a day. So while there are many, many cases where in one session everything changes, or a couple of hours, or a few times you visit, it transforms everything in your relationship, I need to also say that those couples are usually ready for a change. They're both invested. They both want it. They're willing to do the work. They want to work together. If you just come in my office, sit down on my couch and look at me with puppy dog eyes and expect me to do all the work, it's going to take a lot longer. The right attitude is one where you have an open mind, you can be light about it if possible, you can be a little bit more patient with your husband or wife, and you can be open with me in the room so that we can really, really get the most out of your session. Lastly, and in case you haven't noticed from my very wordy and lengthy website, my very wordy and lengthy podcast, I will not just be sitting on the sofa, nodding my head, How does that make you feel? Tell me more. Interesting. You'll be getting real-time, actionable feedback, demonstrations, interactions, movement around the room if you'd like, whatever it takes to help you or you and your partner unlock what you're looking for, and it's fun. I'll always do my best to make sessions as fun as possible or as interesting and philosophical as possible, depending on how you're wired, or I'll be a life raft if things get really emotional. However it pans out, give yourself and your partner the opportunity of a lifetime and come in for some of the most interesting work that you'll likely ever do. I'll look forward to seeing you in my office.